What's up, everybody? It is a Blue Drake, and today, this is actually probably the most proud I have ever been, the most excited to show off an update for Iron Armada. And for those of you who do not know what Iron Armada is a top-down space game being made by DRK. It's very similar to games like Space Engineers or games like even Star Citizen. The only difference is that this is a competitive multiplayer game. You have multiple teams, all with multiple players, all on a single ship, building the ship, operating the ship, repairing the ship, fighting other teams and their cruisers, destroyers, shuttles, in massive fleet battles in order to destroy the enemy mothership. And this update is probably the closest to showing all of the coolest things about Iron Armada that you're going to see in the final release. And this game is going to be available on Steam. It has already been greenlight. It is already good to go. It is just a matter of polishing up some of the systems, and then it is going to be available to the public. So, without rambling on too much, let's talk about just the game itself and some of the new features that have been included. So right now, we are in a tiny shuttle. And if you've never seen Iron Armada before, you can walk all around the shuttle. You can, equip a suit and go out into space if you so please. You can fly the shuttle. You can man the weapons. And we're going to take this shuttle, and we're actually going to go and dock, or at least get close enough to board another Corvette. It's actually not an enemy Corvette. It's a friendly Corvette, still on the red team. And then I'll be able to show you some of the new features in shipboarding that is possible in the latest version of Iron Armada. So here we go. Let me get all set up. Now, a couple of things about Iron Armada. In Iron Armada, it's actually very inspired by even like TV shows like Firefly and stuff like that, where you have multiple people on a ship and you have kind of more realistic concerns with space. Right now, as this little guy, if I were to go out into space without a suit, I will suffocate and die. These engines, if you get too close to this ship, here I'll even show you. You can actually damage and destroy the airlock. For instance, you can see these giant. Oh, see, you can already see I kind of damaged that block just a little bit. Oh, don't want to destroy that entire airlock. But you have to actually be very delicate on if you want to do like a docking maneuver or a boarding, how you maneuver, how you pilot your ship in order to not, damage or break things according to the vacuum of space and Newtonian physics. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to not destroy this airlock. We're going to equip a suit, and we're going to go board the ship. Now, shipboarding in Iron Armada is actually going to be very, very common. This is a very intense strategy. You can get aboard this ship, you can kill the crew, and you can even take it over if you so please. And I want to show some of the infantry combat and infantry systems that are in the game right now that weren't in previous versions. Very small details, but things that have big impacts on immersion and gameplay and just everything. So we're aboard. We just came through this airlock right now. And we have an assault rifle. Now, this assault rifle fires in 3-round bursts. You could also have something like a pistol or an SMG that is shorter barreled. And this is actually something to keep in mind because in Iron Armada, if your weapon is too large and too unwieldy for cramped spaces, that actually could be a problem. As you can see, I actually can't have my weapon wielded because the corridor is too short if I face to the north. So coming around corners and stuff like that, you actually have to keep that in mind. If a space is too tight, you can't actually use your weapon appropriately. So different kinds of weapons, different kinds of strategies, and loadouts are actually going to make sense depending on the ships that you board. So we're actually going to go ahead, we're going to clear this ship, And we're going to get to the bridge here. And this is kind of the gameplay style we wanted to have. We wanted to have not only just giant sweeping fleet battles, but when you actually get on board of a ship, we want it to be tense. We want it to play almost kind of like door kickers, if you ever played door kickers before, where you're on board of a ship with your friends and you've just boarded it, and there's all of this chaos going on outside with ships blowing up, but you're focused on actually boarding the ship and tactically sweeping through, killing the crew, and taking it over. So, you know, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna ditch our suit here in this little corridor, and we're actually gonna take over this ship. And you can do that. You can commandeer ships. You can board ships. And this ship actually has a couple of different weapon systems compared to the shuttle. It's much more heavily armed. As you can see, there's a reactor in the back. There's reactors in the front. We have a whole bunch of different thruster pods, and we have these primary battle cannons. Now, these cannons inflict a lot of damage, and they're very long range. And we also have some smaller cannons. We have some cannons in the back. These are anti-fighter and anti-marine cannons, which are much smaller. We have some to the back, and we also have some to the side, in addition to the main battle cannons. And this is the kind of stuff you could expect in Iron Armada. In fact, if you want to, you can actually see some other videos of pre-alpha gameplay of large ship battles unfolding, where you have multiple frigates, some small ships. In fact, sometimes it almost plays out like a Star Trek movie. Have you ever seen like Star Trek battles, and there's all these different ships of all these different classes? Some of them are big, some of them are small, and you just sit there and you duke it out, and you have boarding parties and explosions and blaster fire going every which way. Some of the ships are taken out, and this is the kind of thing that we wanted to capture in Iron Armada. There's a whole bunch of different games out there. They offer a whole bunch of different things, but there's nothing that we really think is has captured what Iron Armada captures just yet. In Iron Armada, you can build your ships block by block, just like in Space Engineers. You have to have the components and all of the different resources, and also build the ship intelligently, so you have the reactors placed in the right areas, the engines placed in the right areas, kind of almost like Factorio. You have shipboarding, and you can die in the vacuum of space, similar to games like Fast and Light FTL. And then you have just massive carrier battles and massive fleet battles like what you would see in something like Star Sector. But the only difference is that it's all multiplayer, and all of the different players that you see walking around in not just your ship but enemy ships are real players, repairing systems, manning stations, or in some cases, you know, actually... Oh, hold up. I forgot that airlock's been destroyed. Hold on, let's get my suit here. Go this way. And you can actually have Marines with full-blown boarding parties and all sorts of stuff actually coming in, boarding enemy cruisers, enemy carriers, enemy shuttles, and then taking over those shuttles in order to either scrap or use for your faction, which is pretty cool. So I just wanted to make this update because I think this is probably one of the coolest updates we've had so far that really shows off the game and what is going to be possible. This build has not been pushed just yet, but make sure you go to bluedrake42.com. You can read up on the development blog. Make sure you follow us on Steam and also the Greenlight page, and when this game is available for you to play, which hopefully should be soon, the next couple of months, but no promises. There is no official release date because we want to make sure we get things done before we... Normally, what I try to do is by the time I ever announce a release date for something, everything that needs to be done for that is already completed. That's how I try to operate. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. Like, I think this is going to be really, really awesome. There's a lot of games out there. There's a lot of space games out there. But I don't think any of them offer everything that Iron Armada offers. And I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be super fun. But yeah, all right, that's it. That is it. I'll see you guys next time. I'm probably going to do some Project Reality today, get some good footage. If you were interested in this, make sure you go to the forums, sign up, watch the development blogs, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, peace.